an art YouTube channel.
It can do other things. Why shouldn't it?
Only way this could go wrong is if our kicker missed it. Yep, that's the only possible way we don't make this kick O.
Oh! Blocked! The Chiefs have won! The Chiefs have won!
Here are two signs to use as indicators that your team, even if they look good, will not be winning a Super Bowl this season. Sign number one, they don't execute on the little things. I never played football on this high of a level, but I still play the game for close to a decade, and two things that nearly every good coach that I had would say are, you practice how you play, and some form of, it's the little things, or you need to focus on the little details if you want to win, something like that. And this was often in reference to special teams specifically, like when practicing kick returns or punting. Now, I'm a Broncos fan, and let me tell you, over the last however many years, basically since our last Super Bowl win, we really do not execute on the little things, and it's turned this team's fan base into a bunch of coulda, woulda, shoulda type of talkers. The Patriots under the Belichick and Brady era exemplified this type of detail-oriented preparation. Let me give you some quick examples of how it panned out for each team. If we take a look at my Broncos going into last season, when we played the Chiefs, who had won 8 games in a row to start the season, we had the opportunity to break our division rivals' perfect streak. We marched down the field, took away the time on the clock, and at a very makeable field goal range, we went to kick the ball and end the game with a win. Except we woulda, coulda, shoulda made this field goal, beat that opponent. Rookie Bo Nix would have beat Mahomes in his debut against the Chiefs. We would have ruined their perfect record, all that good stuff, except we didn't, because our line got blown up on this play. Multiple players broke through. It was a clean block, and we lost that game. Because, and judging by the other examples I'm about to give, it just doesn't seem like the Broncos as an organization are paying enough attention to those little things. Oh, a field goal? We don't need to have the line practicing taking their steps, their placement and balance, things like that. Only way this could go wrong is if our kicker missed it. Yep, that's the only possible way we don't make this kick O.
Oh! Blocked! The Chiefs have won! The Chiefs have won!
Ever notice how some teams just seem to always be able to run a great 2-minute drill, and they're consistently able to move the ball down the field and score when the game is on the line? I'm talking about Brady, Baker, Allen, Rodgers, guys like that. How come it seems like it's the same few teams that are able to always do that? Because they're practicing and perfecting every aspect of it, no matter how small in practice. Anyway, here's the Broncos allowing a kick return to set up a touchdown 15 seconds before half.
Does get the ball. Remember, it's the beginning of the third quarter.
That's another reason why they probably should have been more conservative, Tennessee. Here's DK. Can he make something happen in special teams in his NFL debut?
And also this leverage call for a re-kick.
And the kick is no good! Denver's gonna win! Denver's gonna win!
Oh, is there a penalty down in the middle of the field? Right by the center.
Oh my goodness.
And also that blocked field goal again.
Oh!
Here's the Patriots beating the 7-7 Broncos a few years ago when the Broncos just needed this one win to get into the playoffs. The Pats were 3-11 here, by the way.
Riley for the win! Chad Ryland! It's good!
And this isn't a small thing, but here's Bo overthrowing 3 potential touchdown passes against the now 3-0 Chargers.
He looks into the nickel. They flip it back. Going deep. The flea flicker, and he's got him! He's got Mims! Empty backfield. Blocked by Bowles. Nix with time. Going for it all. Incomplete to Mims. Nix. Deep. He's got him if he's on target, and it's off the fingertips of Sutton.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. When you're going against the opposing team on the 1-yard line in the Super Bowl and they have the league's best running back in the backfield, you probably don't expect them to make a short pass across the middle. But if you practice for even the most specific kind of scenarios, that's where you can find payoffs that lead you to winning Super Bowls where you otherwise wouldn't have. And staying disciplined goes hand in hand with this, where even when your team is up against tremendous odds, those little preparations and staying disciplined can allow for incredible comebacks when you need it most. Ignoring this type of preparation can also lead to collapse. If you're just skirting by all season, and eventually that luck will run out 99 times out of 100, your team's going to be exposed no matter how far they've made it. The phrase, "man, this team can beat anyone this year," isn't always used to describe a top 3 team, one that everyone already knew would be dominant. But oftentimes it's used to describe a more mid-level team who are tough, gritty, and usually seem to play up to their opponents. And so people will say things like, man, even though this team may only win 8 or 9 games this year, they really can beat anyone. They have that potential. Well, I'd like to introduce a new line of thought to describe my team, and it's they really can lose to any team. And this line of logic is not for describing teams that are labeled bad teams, like when they lose to a good opponent and you think, well, that stinks, but it was expected. No, I'm going to lay out the criteria for this phrase by giving some examples, and you can decide if it applies to your own team. Going into the Week 1 2025 season, it was predicted that the Broncos could have anywhere between a top 5 to even a top 3 defense. And when we played the Tennessee Titans with their debuting rookie quarterback, the defense showed up exactly as expected. We had like 6 sacks, all of our incredible secondary players showed up, and in the second half, the Titans offense had a total of negative 2 yards. And yet, we won that game only 12-20, with our last 7 points coming in under like the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Our offense looked anemic. Our quarterback turned the ball over 3 times alone. We probably would have won by a wider margin had we just handed the ball off 80 times and let our defense do its thing. And so, our defense showed up in a way as advertised, and our offense and special teams basically tried to give that win to a very bad and currently 0-3 Titans team. The very next game, our offense decides to show up. Bo throws for 206, 3 touchdowns, and 1 INT. He and Troy Franklin at times looked to be in perfect sync as they marched down the field with command and presence. And how did our top 5 defense look? Well, they were nowhere to be found as Daniel Jones tore up our supposed legendary secondary, including PS2, the 2020 Defensive Player of the Year, as Jones went 23 for 34, had 316 yards passing and a touchdown. And you already know how it ended.
With no time left, this for the win. Spencer Schrager. It's good, and the Colts have won.
And now we play the Chargers this past week, who are now one of the 6 undefeated teams remaining. So at this point, I guess you could say they're a good team. Well, we were up 20-13 with like 2.5 minutes to go, as the Chargers then proceeded to score 10 points unanswered in that small window of time. Justin Herbert also threw for 300 yards against us, and Bo Nix had only a $153. So once again, somehow, even when being in the game, the whole time I was watching it, I never really felt like there was any hope that we would pull it off. Because we don't find ways to win games, we find ways to lose them. The Broncos are now 1-2, and technically just 2 last-second field goals away from a 3-0 start.
Bureaucrat Conrad, you are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
If your team seems to have lots of little mistakes that seem to add up over time, or if when presented with the opportunity for a win, they seem to often snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, and it just never seems like your organization aims to fix these problems, then I regret to inform you that even if your team is getting a good amount of wins, your team, my friend, will probably not be winning a Super Bowl this year.
Of course, even if it is possible,
To win a Super Bowl.
there's no way of knowing how long it would take. It could take an hour, or it could take 100 million years. Is it done? Certainly not. 2 dings means it's done. But not like that. Slightly more rapid.